Okay. No one's even here. We're off to a great start already. If the soundtrack is ever going to go by, it's on random. Just going to share this, as is my wont. It's good to share. Right. Do. Oh, we go. Alright. Just waiting for some people to turn up. It's useful when people turn up. Hey, if anyone is watching, please drop me a message and let me know how things are sounding. Let me know if the sound is okay. I will be sitting over here. Turn it up just a little bit. Okay. Just doing some basic housekeeping here while I set up the stream. Let's see now. Just going to share this to mon frère, my brothers and my mothers. I've only got one. My father. Let's see. Lovely. Yes, very lovely, very good. If anyone is available in the chat, please send me a message. Let me know that everything's okay. Let me know how I'm sounding. Whoop. I will be over here. So let me know if you can hear my speaking from here. Let me know if I'm being picked up okay, or if there's anything amiss, anything awry. Let's see. Gonna share this to my family. Love it when my family joins me. It's so lovely when my family joins me for these extra, I was about to say extracurricular, just these extremely exciting events for which they cannot be physically present. There we go. Do. Right, audio is good on the bike. Slight echo near the camera. That's okay. I'll be sat back here. Thank you very much, Hazmato. That's really kind of you to let me know. Okay, 3 viewers. That's pretty good. Okay, so as you might be able to read in the description, hopefully you can, I am going to be streaming again, doing my 1-hour bike ride. And I'm fundraising. This is the last part of this charity fundraiser that I've been doing for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. The link to my fundraiser campaign is down in the description. If you can donate to me and help me smash that last goal, that would be amazing. I believe it's $5.50 now. Donations of any size are more than welcome. I'm really excited to get going. I'm going to turn up the music just a little bit, so don't you worry. Let's see. In fact, I'm just going to repeat myself from the position of the bike, so that you all know. How I'm going to sound when the music comes in as well, because this is where I'm going to be speaking from. Hello and welcome. For those of you just joining, I am doing another one of my 1-hour biking streams, and I'm doing it to raise money for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. The campaign of mine is down in the description. You can click the link and donate. Donations of any size are more than welcome. Hopefully we can smash that last target. That would be really awesome. Let me know how my voice is sounding. I'm going to put on music, don't you worry. I'm just going to give it a few more minutes to let a few more people turn up. Drop me a message in the chat and let me know how I sound and if the connection is okay. Let me know if the connection is good. I'm just going to turn up the music just a little bit, which I should be able to do from here if I bring this up here. So cunning, so clever. So before I get started, I should probably do a few more stretches, because this time in this live stream I'm going to be lifting far heavier weights than I was lifting in the last live stream. So when I did my live stream biking session in April, I was lifting up these these dumbbells. Now this is 2.3 kilograms. not tremendously heavy, but I'm pretty weak, so it was a challenge for me, trust me. This time, I'm going to be lifting up these bad boys, or rather just this one. Let's compare. So this is the one I did in April, and this is the one I'm doing now. This is 4.5 kilograms. So if nothing else, even if you can't donate, you can at least watch my arms fall off in the next few hours. I'm sure you will very much enjoy watching that. So I'm going to take just a sip of water before we get started, and then I will get going. Once again, I've got the twerp soundtrack. You can see their Spotify image just in the corner of my screen, so remember to check them out because they're simply incredible. They're simply amazing. Oh. Drop me a message and just let me know how the stream is coming through. Let me know how the audio is. Let me know if you want me to turn the music up before I get started. Which I can do once I'm on the bike, like if I louder and quieter. So that sounds pretty good to me, but you tell me what sounds good. Okay, so we're going to spend just a few minutes and wait for other people to turn up, but I'll explain to you what the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust is about. Oh, got another comment. Needs some music and bike training noise to complete the set. There will be, yeah, the music is coming through. Let me know if you need me to turn it up. I will do. So, before I get started, I'm just going to explain what the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust is. It is a charity that helps underprivileged kids in the UK kind of follow their ambitions and through various... Oh, sorry, there was a mouse in the garden, I got distracted. So it provides workshops and programs and various opportunities for kids to follow their ambitions, and it focuses on underprivileged kids in particular. And I wanted to choose this charity to raise money for because personally I know how privileged I am, and I know that I have the opportunities in life to pursue the ambitions I have and the opportunities I get excited by, because for me things like race are not a barrier. For other people, they are a barrier because sometimes they're not. Sometimes people are not chosen for positions at work because of their race, and sometimes people they don't even feel encouraged to pursue their ambitions because they don't see themselves represented in the fields of interest. So children can feel really rather. They can feel rather disenfranchised if they don't see themselves in the careers that kind of get them excited, and they might not even bother pursuing their ambitions because of it. So the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust tries to combat that and supports children and teenagers in their young developing years, so that they can like pursue what they want more easily, because it's tricky, man. It's tricky. Okay, I'm going to reset the soundtrack. What am I going to do? I'm going to reset the soundtrack, start it from a kind of base point, and then I'm going to get started. My mother's messaged me. No, she hasn't. Sorry, but she has for a second. Hopefully she'll join us, because we all know how much we love Hilary Scoppy, my mother. Okay, iTunes, come to me. Okay, prelude. Yes, this is good. This is music to bike to. Right, I'm gonna get started. Here we go. There is a timer on my bike which lets me know how long I've been biking for. So I'm going for 1 hour. Do you want me to turn up the music? Let me know if you do. In fact, I am going to do that. There we go. That's a little bit more exciting, isn't it? Okay. So, 1 hour with 4.5 kilogram dumbbells. I'm not going to lift them up just yet. I'm going to get into this just for a few minutes, just to warm myself up. I did stretch my legs this time. Before getting into this. But maybe I should stretch my arms just a little bit more beforehand, because this stuff is really heavy, and I don't want to be without arms for the rest of the weekend. Okay, just joining us, hello and welcome to the stream. I'm going to be biking for 1 hour while lifting 4.5 kilogram dumbbell, and hopefully I will not die. And I've got the magnificent Tupperware remix party playing in the background. Ah, yes. This is quite soothing, actually, this piece of music. Well, it starts out soothing. Oh my gosh. So, as I was saying about race, because race is a big thing right now. I don't know if you've noticed, and we should be talking about it. If you are white, you need to be talking about racism to your other white friends right now. I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit because I am yelling a bit. But yes, it is our responsibility to talk to our friends, our family, our colleagues, even strangers, about racism. Because we are the people who tend to benefit from racism. And it's scary to talk about, scary to even admit, but it's the truth, and it's far scarier to be someone who does not benefit from racism, to put it lightly, who experiences racism, who experiences white supremacy, or rather the sharper end of it. It isn't good, to say the least. So, what we need to do is be bolder and stand up for people when we see racism in the streets, when we see people being discriminated against because of their race. We need to step in, and we also need to think more carefully about acts of racism that don't seem immediately hateful. That is really important, because I think a lot of white people, we kind of interpret racism as acts of hatred and nothing else. And if something isn't done out of hatred, then it cannot possibly be bigoted. Well, that is simply inaccurate, I'm going to say. Racism basically permeates throughout our culture in a myriad of different ways. And it affects people in very sneaky ways that white people might be blind to, but certainly exist. So, for example, well, here's one. I don't have to worry about having my application for a job be rejected because my name sounds white, which it certainly does. Imogen, like, it's a very white name. But people of colour, sometimes when they're putting themselves out into the world, like say, if they're applying for a job, they get rejected for an interview because their name might sound too black or too ethnic. That's fucked up. Like, obviously, but it happens all the time, this sort of thing. And that might not seem like it doesn't seem like a big in-your-face issue, but it obviously affects people because it affects their ambitions, it affects their morale. Imagine getting rejected because of something that stupid. I mean, honestly. So, things like that. While we're talking about in the workplace, there are things like, for black people in particular, they can't have, like, their hair natural. So they can't, it's often regarded as, like, unprofessional to, say, have a nicely kept afro or dreadlocks or box dreads. All sorts of hairstyles which are natural and take a tremendous amount of effort to keep up and keep nice are seen as unprofessional, whereas white people can just roll out of bed and turn up to work without really putting a comb through their hair. I certainly can. That's white privilege. That kind of sucks. Like, that black people are regarded that way, that their natural hair, their natural physical state isn't tamed enough. That's fucked up. So there are loads of ways that black people experience racism that are more than just them having slurs yelled at them. It's more than just them being afraid of the police, although that is a massive issue, obviously. There are all sorts of microaggressions little things that are kind of embedded into our culture that we might just not think about, but certainly have an effect on people, certainly have an effect on black people, and how they feel disrespected. I feel disrespected. Goodness. It's tremendously lucky that I can just roll out of bed and go to work with my hair just, and nobody tells me that I look unprofessional, although they might think it. But anyway, I've never had to worry about being fired for it, but some people do. So, for instance, you might have heard of this already. You might have heard of people getting rather upset at white people for having dreadlocks. Now, why would that be? It's just a hairstyle. It's not an act of hatred. I agree. If a white person has dreadlocks, it's not strictly an act of hatred, but it is rather inconsiderate. And let's be honest, our hair does not adapt to dreadlocking. Let's say that they come out all stringy. And the reason that it is seen as rather insensitive is that black people, they can have their hair in dreadlocks, and if they try and get a job, it is significantly more difficult for them to be taken seriously in some places, not everywhere, but in some places, because having dreadlocks is seen as being unprofessional. So, I know I'm kind of going on about this particular issue, but this is just one teeny element of experiencing racism, which it doesn't seem actively hateful, but it can definitely be extremely demoralizing, and we need to keep these things in mind. So, what you need to remember, as I said before, but I will say it again, is that racism isn't necessarily always an overt act of hatred. It can very often, in fact more often than not, be a result of the system that we're in. So like, sometimes black people are denied all sorts of things, not just jobs, but places to live, because they're black and they don't fit in with the white suburban area. This happens a lot in America. And it's tremendously messed up. Things that don't seem actively hateful, you know, these people involved in these systems, they might not be part of the KKK, but they are part of a racist system which brings harm to black people and basically makes them feel like, well, why should we have respect for this system? And after years, decades of being treated this way, black people, quite rightly, feel like it's time to tear this shit down. And I support that, personally. I think the way that they've been treated is something that we should all consider, and we should all consider in our own actions. And I'm being very serious. I can only just see your comment, Geekophile. I appreciate you tuning in. Yes, this is a fundraiser for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. It helps underprivileged children and teenagers in the UK. If you can donate to my fundraiser, it is down in the link below. Any donation of any size is more than welcome. If we can smash the 550 goal tonight, that would be incredible. I'd really like that. You are not too late to my stream, a corner of the internet. Thank you for turning up to my fundraiser. Getting quite warm. I don't know if I should have done this in trousers. It's very warm indeed. So, as I was saying, what was I saying? I was sweating too much to think. So, white people, we need to talk about racism more when we see our family members, our friends, our colleagues, strangers partaking in racism, whether it's hateful or whether it's not hateful, but still harmful. And this is something we need to think about very carefully. You do not need to be malicious in order to be reckless. You do not need to be hateful in order to be hurtful. And it's always worth taking a step back from yourself and thinking about what you've done. Even if you just meant something as a joke, like if you mocked somebody's accent, you might not think that's hateful. You might have absolute love for whoever's accent you're mocking. That's understandable, but perhaps it's really hurtful to the person that you're mocking. One of the things we need to kind of get our heads around as white people is when someone tells us that we've done something racist, we have to learn not to take that as a personal attack on every element of who we are. White people often do that. When we're told we've done something racist, we go, ugh, I can't handle this. I don't hate anyone. Fuck you. And that's not healthy. That doesn't help anyone. We retaliate and lash out because the idea that we are part of a system that hurts people and we can't get ourselves out of that system, we can't get ourselves out of our white bodies, as it were, it pisses us off. And it makes us feel very delicate, and very fragile, and very flighty, and we lash out and we want to put the blame on someone else. Well, I didn't ask for this. And that isn't the point. Feeling like that, reacting like that, it doesn't help anybody at all. We have to mobilize ourselves to remove our own personalities from the equation and step back from what we've done and look at it objectively and be like, right, what action did I do that could be bringing harm to other people? Try not to take it personally. I know it's hard, but it's important work that we all need to do. I think it's difficult kind of recognizing your own racism because we kind of regard ourselves as the protagonists of our own lives. And being the protagonists of our own lives, we feel like, well, if I'm the main character, I must be the hero. I must be good. And if someone's told me that I'm being racist, well, that doesn't fit in to my narrative that I am the main character in whatever story this is. And me do something hurtful? Well, I don't mean to do anything hateful. I didn't ask for this. Again, racism is bigger than you personally. The effects of racism, I'm afraid, are baked into every aspect of our culture. I know, isn't it annoying? But you have to get over how annoying that is for you personally and start working on yourself. We all have to be tougher. And we all have to kind of step outside of ourselves and go, right, this isn't about who I am forever. This is about something I did just now. What I did just now, maybe it wasn't a good idea. Maybe I can step back. Maybe I can think more carefully about what I've done, whatever it was. Because far more often than not, especially if it's a friend telling you you've done something racist, they do not want to tell you that. They are being very brave if they have told you that. Because, standing up to your friends is really difficult. I believe an author wrote about that once, but I can't remember her name. Forget her. Don't take it personally. It's easier said than done, but it's important work and we all have to do it. I'm just going to lean in and look at the comments if I can. Maybe just to take some time to breathe while you fell. I am breathing. Mother! Hilary Scoppy, by the way, is my mother. She's always looking out for me. I hope you're staying hydrated. Don't you worry, love. I've got it on lock. You know what? I haven't done any of this action yet, so it is time to try it. So let's do 10 on this arm. I said I was going to do this, so I've got to do it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other arm. Let's go. Whew. Again, this is a fundraising stream for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. My fundraiser is in the links in the description down below. Any donations of any size are really appreciated. And if we can break the 550 total, the 550 goal, sorry, tonight, that would be amazing. I'd really like that. 8, 9, 10. I just realised that I didn't put the fan on, and that might help me a little bit. So, whoop. That's better. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my goodness. That's good. And I leave the stream because it's too scary to watch. Okay, mother. You do what you must. Do what you must. Okay. For those of you just joining us, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. This is a 1-hour bike ride to raise money for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust, which helps underprivileged children in the UK pursue their ambitions, their dreams, children and teenagers who need some support. And the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust provide workshops and programs and all sorts of opportunities to young people to attain their goals. So go and donate. Any donations of any size are really welcome and really appreciated. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness me. A little more of a sip. I wonder how long I've been going. I haven't been paying attention to the timer at all. Is the music loud enough? Tell me if the music is too quiet. Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness. The timer will come up. What distance? I've done 5.5 miles so far. That's decent. That's decent. That's all right. Oh, that breeze is exactly what I needed. Okay. So, I'm going to carry on talking about racism now. So, something that many of you might be familiar with, you might already know about it, but some of you might not be so au fait with the subject, is the concept of white privilege. We're going to talk about white privilege now. Scary. So what is, leaving out white to begin with, what is privilege? What does that mean? It always sounds so thorny and rude, and that's another thing you need to get over. So privilege basically means that you benefit from a system that you didn't ask to be part of, but you are part of, whether you like it or not. Whether that be a system of racism, misogyny, transphobia. You know, if you're cisgendered, you have cisgender privilege. You don't have to worry about dealing with transphobia. Having privilege does not mean, one, that you're a bad person, or two, that your life cannot have hardship. Of course your life can have hardship. Of course it can. That is not the point of the term privilege. The point of the term privilege is simply to point out that you, even though you didn't ask for it, you benefit from a system over other people. So, I have white privilege, but I'm not a guy, so I do not have male privilege. That's easy, right? I also have cisgender privilege and able-bodied privilege. So yeah, I'm telling you, as a privileged person, the privilege is not like a death knell on your soul and that you're going to hell. And if that's something you've been worried about, that's something you just need to remove from your mind, because that is not the point of it. The point of it is to demonstrate that you do benefit over other people, even if you didn't ask for it. Oh goodness, getting thirsty again. You could be privileged as all hell and still have a dreadful life full of terrible circumstance, and no one is contesting that. So I don't think that's what it means. It means that you have power as well to have privilege. So you might have been seeing the protests in America. You might have seen the kind of standoffs between between the Black Lives Matter protesters and the police. And in some of the videos that I've seen, you will see white protesters using their privilege to protect black protesters. And how are they doing that? Well, in this particular situation, you'll be able to see white people standing in front of black protesters to protect them. Because in situations and standoffs between black people and the police, if white people are involved as well, police are genuinely less likely to use violence in the situation. Doesn't mean they won't use violence at all, but they are less likely to use violence if white people are involved. It sucks! But my point is, white people need to be using their power for good, as it were. I say power like it's a good thing. It's not a good thing, but if you can take this thing and use it to protect other people, to lift them up, to give them the space that they need to voice their dissent, their displeasure at the status quo, help people. Use your white privilege for good. Do something. It is a good idea. I know it's scary, but it's far scarier to experience racism than to experience privilege. Than to acknowledge privilege, I should say. I'm just going to hop in the chat if I can. It's audible, but there's no variables. Wonderful. Thank you, corner of the internet. Oh my goodness. I'm really warm. Damn it. Can we all stand up for themselves? Are you speaking about black people? Well, I mean, yeah, they're going to protest, whether we join them or not. But they're protesting against racism, and in order to dismantle racism, white people need to be involved as well. Because white people kind of run the whole establishment. Not to mention, it's just the right thing to do, to stand with your fellow man, you know? Like, you know, if there's some sort of protest to do with women's rights, men are certainly allowed to join and support us. That's good. That's a good thing. The most important thing, or one of the most important things regarding white people in Black Lives Matter protests is that our voices do not override their voices, but we do not try and lead the charge. They are in charge, and we are there to support them. We are there to protect them. We are there to make it easy for them. We are not there to start fucking looting and starting fires and causing violence. Nuh-uh. That is, I mean, no one should be doing that. I mean, anarchy has a time and place. But these protests need to remain peaceful in order for people to take them seriously. Otherwise, yeah, wanton destruction isn't going to help. Not at this point. Certainly not at this point. Oh goodness. What rights do women not have? Oh, you are a joker. Well, in certain parts of the world, they do not have a right to abortion. There's a big one. And that's an important right to have, the right to choose whether you have children or not. Oh my goodness. We have a lot of rights, but sometimes we experience terrible things at the hands of men, and we could do with some support from men that know better. Things like that. Little things like abortion, you know. Wage gap is a myth. It's very interesting. I'm going to keep biking. Evening Luton, it's good of you to join us. For those of you that have just joined us, this fundraiser is for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. I'm raising money for that charity, and the donation link is down in the description. Donations of any size are all welcome. I really appreciate it. And all the funds go towards helping underprivileged children and teenagers pursue their ambitions in life. Oh goodness. Now, I chose this particular charity because as a creative, basically if I didn't have the opportunities to pursue my passions, I'd be bouncing off the walls. And if I didn't have the opportunities to pursue my passions because race was a barrier, because I got denied positions because I was black or South Asian, I would be bouncing off the walls. I'd be kicking my feet around. I'd be really miserable. And sometimes when underprivileged children do not feel represented in the fields that they would love to pursue, they feel disenfranchised. They feel like there's no hope for them and they do not pursue their ambitions in the first place, which is rotten. How is it racist to help people with social deficiency? Not entirely certain what you're referring to if you're speaking to me, sorry. Nobody doesn't get paid less than now, they get paid less. They get paid less for less hours worked. Very interesting. Perhaps in certain places, but not everywhere. Not everywhere. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's so warm. Right, it's time to do this again. Oh goodness me. Oh. I think I was nearly on 90 miles an hour, which is decent, but we can pump it up to 20 miles an hour if we're feeling ambitious. Thank you. 8, 9, 10. I really like using dumbbells. It makes me feel so strong. I should use them more often. You might notice that I'm not doing the overhead stuff that I was doing in my last stream in April. And that is because these are literally too heavy for me to do that with. It's far too scary to do that with these. 8. I feel like I'm going to fall off or I'm going to drop them on my head. 10. Let's go again. You know, I haven't been using this enough. Oh yes, that's good. So, to any of you just joining us, this is a fundraiser for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. The fundraising link is down in the description if you want to donate. That would be awesome. Donations of any size are all welcome. If we can smash that $5.50 goal tonight, that would be so awesome. Oh yes. 2, 3. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's decent. Oh goodness. It's important that we keep the discussion of Black Lives Matter alive, that we keep the movement rolling. We don't let it go cold, we don't let it run dry, we don't let it slow down and grind to a halt. Now the media might want you to think that the protests are over. You know, there might not be quite as much reporting on the situation as there was a week or so ago. But the fact of the matter is that all over America, there continue to be massive protests in every state. There have been incredible videos of people just marching around in the thousands in the rain. It's important that we recognize that this is a movement worth taking seriously, being part of, supporting. You see petitions that need signing, sign them. If you see GoFundMes that need money, try and donate if you can. If you can't, share them. Keep talking about this, because police brutality has got to end. Police brutality, white supremacy, all of it, fuck it all. It's no good, to put it lightly. Oh my goodness. How long have I been going? I don't know yet. So, you might think that these protests have ended. One, because they're not being reported about as much, and two, because so much of this information is shared through Twitter, and the Black Lives Matter tag doesn't seem to be a trending tag right now. That's because Twitter's tags, trending tags, act in this way. When the tag is new and widely popular, it appears as a trending tag. If the tag has been around for ages, and people are still using it, it won't show up as trending because it isn't new. Trending is the new stuff. So search the Black Lives Matter tag in Twitter and you will see that things are very much still hot and alive. And we need to be there for people. We need to be supporting them. I've been supporting people by donating money and signing petitions and sharing when I can and doing this fundraiser. And I still feel kind of guilty because I didn't go to the protests in my city. I feel bad about that. So the next time there is one, I'm going to see if I can make it. Thank you, corner of the internet. That's very kind of you, but there are loads of people who are far more informed than me, who I still agree with. They don't do live streams that often, but some people I can recommend. You know who I've been watching a lot? I've been watching Philosophy Tube a lot. Philosophy Tube does really good videos on social justice matters and philosophy. How about that? And he recently did a video about anti-Semitism, which is just, that's really prevalent. This is an important part of tackling racism, is also paying attention to anti-Semitism. We cannot think that these sorts of, how am I going to word this? I want to word this carefully. We kind of have this narrative in our culture that there are things that happened in the past, that because they're part of the past, we've progressed beyond those events now, and they could never happen again. This is very dangerous thinking. And you can see exactly why, because of what is happening in America right now. The civil rights movement is in the 60s, but you wouldn't know it. You'd think the 60s was yesterday, the way the streets are, the way that black people still experience police brutality to the degree that they do. I mean, any degree is shit, quite frankly. So we have to keep our head on a swivel, and we have to stamp down on racism whenever it may occur. For instance, I think for quite a few decades, people have considered neo-Nazis to be kind of a fringe group, and they might be a fringe group, but a group that has no traction, as it were. They couldn't change anything. They're just hateful freaks. Well, today in London, we saw a lot of very angry people at the protest. They ended up getting quite violent with the police, and they were throwing up Nazi salutes. This was in London city centre, and this isn't some kind of underground nothing-y group. They're not just some weirdos in basements that don't have anything better to do. This is like a movement. We need to be aware of how prevalent it is. We cannot take it lightly. You know who we did take lightly is UKIP. We took UKIP very lightly when UKIP started making their voices known a number of years ago, about 4 years ago. I remember I was at my friend's flat once, and there was a leaflet that had been posted through their door, and it was on their table, and we all looked at it and we all laughed, and we thought, ha 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 ha. Imagine taking a group like that seriously. They'll never have any power in this country. Why are they even bothering? And a number of years later, we've had Brexit, because UKIP, Nigel Farage, brought all this terrible xenophobia to the surface, and it caught the attention of a lot of people, a lot of disenfranchised people, and now we've left the European Union. But that would not have happened had we taken UKIP seriously and stomped them out when we had the chance. Kept them at bay. And here we are. I mean, trying to talk about Brexit is hilarious because that kicked off officially at the beginning of this year, and now we're in the midst of a massive pandemic and nothing's going nowhere. And it really does put things into perspective, doesn't it? If we hadn't have had to worry about Brexit, maybe we could have spent our time and resources in the last 4 years doing things that are a little bit more effective, a little bit more protective of our citizens. For instance, the UK has one of the worst records of coronavirus deaths around the world. We are a first world nation and we are doing tremendously badly. That's tens of thousands of people in this nation have died because of COVID-19. Now, I can't see it, no one can see into the future. There's no telling how it would have been otherwise, but perhaps if we hadn't been so preoccupied with something like Brexit, we could have, I don't know, been a little bit more prepared for a pandemic or something. Maybe if we'd spent more time putting money and resources into the NHS rather than gutting them, we could have saved hundreds of, well, not hundreds of, but thousands of lives. I don't know. Things like this. This is why you have to pay attention. Pay attention to politics. And pay attention to what people are really doing.
Just have fun with it.
I used to believe that the Tories were so bad. I used to believe that they basically had people's interests in heart. I didn't really understand how selfish they are, but in the last couple of years I've really come to understand that. Oh my gosh. One for a sandwich and now we're on politics. We were always on politics. Tuna melts, that sounds good actually. I used to have tuna melts all the time. Oh my gosh. Red Leicester. Ooh! Love that stuff. I do not know how long I've been biking for. I've just been jabbering away. But ooh, I'm predicting that I've been going for about 30-something minutes. But I will see. I will see as soon as my thingy tells me. I will let you know how long I've been going for. To those of you who've just joined us, hello, welcome. This is a fundraising stream, the last part of 3 fundraising live streams for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust, the donation. I'm losing my breath. The link to my fundraiser is down in the description. If you can donate, please do. I would really appreciate any donations of any size are really more than welcome. That would be excellent if you can help us out. The Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust provides opportunities, programs, workshops for underprivileged children and teenagers to follow their ambitions, to follow their dreams, when society might make it a lot harder for them to do so otherwise. So please consider donating, and if you can't donate, then share this live stream. Share this live stream with someone who think you might have some money and might be entertained by someone sweating like an idiot. The stream started 47 minutes ago. But the bike started, yeah, you are correct, it did. I'm still not looking at the timer. I'm just looking at the camera like a twit. I need to focus on what it tells me. It skips through different things, so it says things like your speed and how many miles you've gone and your pulse. That's why we've got these metal things right here. This measures your pulse through your palms. Very, very technologically advanced, I think you'll agree. Oh, goodness. I've been going for nearly 40 minutes. That's good. I've barely gotten any of these in, so it's about time I did a few more. Oh my goodness. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go again. Let's go go again. I've not had enough. Oh, goodness. Ooh. 3. Oh. Thank you so much for your super chat, darling. I will put that into the donations. Let's have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now there's another excellent fundraiser that I donated to the other day, which you can find a link to in my video from the other day, Wednesday. It's collecting donations, it's collecting funds to support black transgender people in the UK. It's a London-based charity. You can find the link to that in the live stream that I did on Wednesday. That video is called J.K. Rowling, Vintage Game Grumps and a Nice Scone. So if you find that link, donate to that as well, because transgender people face tremendous violence, especially black transgender women. I think that's 8, 9, 10. Yes. Transgender people, especially transgender people of colour, are tremendously vulnerable and experience a lot of violence. Often they are murdered, and their murders are not investigated thoroughly because they are regarded as less valuable than white people, than cisgender people. And it's not acceptable, obviously. So, if we can provide support for them, we should do that. So again, the link to that particular fundraiser, I think if you just Google, I'll find it. Let's see if I can speed up while I'm doing this. So it feels rude to be on my phone while I'm biking. Let's see. So I go onto my thingy. I'll be able to find a link for you. Okay. So if you Google Black Trans Lives Matter UK support, you'll be able to find that GoFundMe. I'm not going to put my phone back on there because I might crush it with a dumbbell. And you can donate. It's worth it. You'll really be helping people out. You'll really be helping out some vulnerable people if you do that. And share that link with people as well. Do whatever you can. Even if you can't donate, sign petitions. If you see a petition thread, you can help out that way. You can share things as well. And keep talking. Keep talking to your friends and your family, your co-workers, strangers if the conversation should come up, especially if you catch strangers saying racist shit and you feel comfortable enough to be able to talk to them without getting your face punched in, because that is a risk. Make a noise. Say something, do something. Prove that there are people in the streets who give a shit about this, and it's not just weirdos at their computer being quiet. This should be normalized. Protesting against racism should be normalized. Getting up in arms and making a noise should be normalized. It's just my opinion. But I think I'm right. We shouldn't be afraid, especially people like me. We should be bold enough to use our voices, any privilege that we have, to help people who do not have the privileges that we have. I want to apologise if I'm not being that eloquent, because I've never spoken live about these sort of issues before. What can I say? Just trying to do something. And you can try to do something as well. You don't have to be as eloquent as Malcolm X. You don't need to be as eloquent as Martin Luther King in order to make a difference to people, in order to say something that will stick in their minds and get them to think and get them to reconsider the way that they act. You do have power. You do have power, trust me. Even if it just affects one person's life, maybe they'll go off and affect somebody else's life in a positive way, and so on and so forth. I sound like a big hippie, but it's true! All this stuff is true, so just go for it. To any of you who've just joined us, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a fundraising stream for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. We are raising money to help support underprivileged children and teenagers pursue their goals, their ambitions in life. And you can donate to the fundraiser link down the description. Just click it. Donations of any size are all welcome. If we can smash that 550 goal tonight, that would be really awesome. We'll see what we can manage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's time for me to do this again, I think. The music has gone very quiet. Hope there's going to be more music. I'm sorry if I'm not reading your comments, but reading comments means I have to lean forward rather a bit and I nearly fall off the bike. Hello, Chancy Kong. We've got a Kong. Awesome. Welcome to the stream, Chancy. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm far away from the camera and I'm leaning forward like an idiot. How many was that? I can't remember. Oh dear. Let's say that was 7. That's a good number. 8. 9. 10. Other side, I think. It's good to do both arms. As tempted as I am just to do the one. Oh goodness. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Let's do it again. I'm feeling feisty. Yeah. 3. 4. 5. I'm going to turn up the music a bit. 6. Ooh. 7. Ooh. 8. We've got about 11 minutes left after this. 9. 10. Oh. We are listening to the delectable sounds of Tupperware Remix Party. And this is actually my favourite album of theirs, The Device. I love that raw, just aggressive instrumental sound. A big deal. Oh my goodness. Out of water. Oh, I got a little bit overzealous, but I should be able to make through the next 10 minutes on the screed of my own sweat. I should be able to do it. I believe in myself. Do you believe in me? If you believe in me, donate to the fundraiser, the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust fundraiser that I'm doing right now. The link to my fundraising campaign is in the description. Donate something. Even if it's a small amount, it all counts. It's all appreciated. So just do it. If you can't donate, try and share the link. Try and share this around so we can get to our 550 goal. That would be so awesome if we could do that tonight. Oh goodness. Oh. I've gone about 16 miles. It's decent. It's decent. If we can get to 20 miles, that would be pretty good. I'm not sure if I recognise this one. I'm really glad I remembered to turn on the fan. That was so stupid when I didn't have it on.
Just
We're going at 25 miles an hour when I get excited. I love that. Oh yes. Let's see the rest of this bike ride through. Oh, positive pedaling. That's what I'm using, positive pedaling right now. When I get really happy, I let my hair down. So let's do that. Ah! Okay, we've got about 7 minutes left. 7 minutes. I should probably do at least one more round of these. That's only fair. I wanted to do more of them, but I got talking. Anyone who might have just joined, welcome. This is a fundraising stream for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. My campaign link is down in the description. If you can donate, a donation of any size, it's all appreciated. And all donations go towards helping underprivileged children and teenagers achieve their ambitions and goals through various workshops and programs and other opportunities that the Trust provides. It would mean everything. If you can't donate, try sharing the fundraiser, and maybe somebody else can donate in your place. Is that 10? I lost count. Let's call that 10. Let's go again. Woo! Just over 5 minutes left, guys. 7. Ah. 8. 9. 10. Ooh. One more go on this side. Oh, left arm is definitely my weaker arm, so I mustn't neglect it. Ooh, my goodness, it's Starlight Brigade. Yes. Oh, fill me with inspiration, Starlight Brigade. Oh, give me what I need to get through this bike ride. Woo. Is that 6? Let's call that 6. 7. 8. There we go. too enthusiastic or I'll fall off the bike. Oh, goodness. Mum's enjoying it. That's what this is all about. Making my mum laugh. Glad you're into it, Mum. Okay, we're in 56 minutes, 30 seconds. So that's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left until we've been going for 1 hour. Let's go. Let's keep going. Oh, goodness. Goodness. It's really hard to keep doing that with my hair down. It makes it very warm. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. 3 minutes. I'm like watching the clock now because I'm getting really tired. And I ran out of water about 10 minutes ago. That's my fault. I should really get more than one water bottle, if I'm honest. Oh. It's a scone mixing muscle. Oh, you're so right. You're so right, Esmeralda. Thank you very much. Mum, you're right to laugh at other comments and not at your daughter. It would hurt my feelings if you did, if I'm quite honest. In fact, yes. Thinking of scones, let's go for one last round. Let's build those scone mixing muscles. Let's go. 3, 4. We're going to make the most amazing batter with these goddamn biceps, triceps. I've got hair in my mouth. With these swans. Oh, these pythons. 8? Was that 8? Let's call it 8. 9. Ooh. 10. I bet my form is all off. Oh. To anybody who's just joined, hello and welcome. You are coming to the end of this fundraising stream for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. The fundraising link of mine, which you can find in the description. All donations of any size are welcome. I think that was 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh. Come on. 7. 8. Oh my god, we've got 30 seconds left. It's just enough time to do this. 2. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh, and we've reached 60 minutes, which, if you don't know, is 1 hour. Oh, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. We got through 1 hour. Oh my goodness. Woo! Could have done a little bit more on that, but decent. Whew. Just gonna turn the music down just a touch while I get up. Oh Nelly. Oh Nelly. And have a little stretch, because it's very important. Oh, that was the dumbbell. To stretch after you've finished exercising. I'm just going to move this to the side so I can stretch properly. Oh, and before I even do that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to check out and see what donations I might have removed. Oh, wonderful. I've gotten some more donations. Precious. Thank you so much to those of you who have donated. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Excellent. I don't think the Virgin Money page actually updates very instantaneously, which is ironic really, because they're an internet service provider. You'd think that they would have a little bit more snap on their fundraising page, but whatever, it matters not. We got through this together. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to hop back in the chat and see what you've been saying. Oh dear. Can I turn it over to you? I'll be sure to share this. Thank you so much, Corner of the Internet. That was really kind of you. And Shanty Kong, thank you so much for your verbal support. That's excellent. I believe it's because of you that I made it through this incredibly trying exercise. Oh dear. Oh, watching you is terrifying. Oh, Mum. Don't be terrified with me. I came from you. You created me. You're the mother of terror. Think of that. Oh dear. Thank goodness it's... You're so scared, Mum. I don't know why you're so terrified for me. I'm so strong now. I've been doing this on the regular. Oh goodness. Right. I think it's time. Oh, I need to do my cool down stretches. That's what I need to do next. Which involves like lying on the floor and stuff. So let me just figure that out. I'm going to move this out of the way. There we go. Whoop! And get out my mat. This is all very important. You can't go full tilt on a bike for an hour and then just plonk your bum down and sit about. You've got to stretch those ligaments. If you're familiar with Tupperware Remix Party, they would not want you doing all sort of extraneous exercises without stretching properly before and afterwards. It's very important before you do those high kicks. Okay, now this time I'm using my computer to live stream, which is a good deal heavier. So how low can we go with this camera? Can you still see me down here? Can I back up a little bit? Just checking now whether you can see me. It's all very important. Very important. Don't need this hammer anymore. This is just as vital as the exercise. This is still exercise. Can y'all see me? Just about. Maybe we can move that just slightly. Oh, not that way. Okay. This is tricky. Maybe I should just bring the whole damn thing down. Bring the whole damn thing down. Let's go. Come on. Join me on the floor. It's filthy down here. You'll love it. Hello. That way maybe. Here we go. I love a good wild stream. Anything could happen at any moment. Oh goodness. Whoop. Thrusty, trusty mouse. Can't be without that. Okay, now, whoop. We are going to do some stretches. Corner of the Internet, you're a woman I want to become. These students inspire me to exercise. Still let me listen to politics and social issues. That's very sweet. Thank you so much, Corner of the Internet. You can do this. I don't know how good I am at politics, but I'm trying to do what I believe is right. I'm trying to use my platform for something, because I've just let my platform, my YouTube, that is kind of stagnate for the last few years without any animations, so I might as well do something useful. Okay. Let's stretch. I'm going to move that stool out of the way because it's just going to get in the way. So, after we exercise, I'm going to bring this down here. Oh. There we go. After we exercise, it's very important, not to pull the muscles in your feet for one thing. That was a bit of a stunt I just did. It's very important to stretch afterwards, so we're going to stretch our arms up first, because we've been working our arms very diligently. Now we're going to stretch to the side. There we go. Nice side stretch. Stretch out those muscles. You can do this as well. You can join me in stretching out. Here we go. Whew. To those of you who might just be joining, welcome. We're approaching the end of this fundraising stream for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. I was speaking about it at length at the beginning of the stream. It's a charity to assist children and teenagers who are underprivileged and might not receive the same opportunities as everybody else, and it's to provide support to them in pursuing their ambitions and their goals in life with various programs, workshops and other opportunities, so that they can feel like they are valued, which they should be. And unfortunately, they are often not valued enough. So if you can donate to this fundraiser, my link to my campaign is down in the description below. I've just been biking for an hour and now I'm on the floor stretching, so that's why I'm doing all this sort of silly thing. I'm going to tie-bite my hair just a bit because it gets in my face and I am very, very warm. Very warm indeed. I'll turn up the music just a little bit. Oop, just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we're going to lean forward. Woo. Here we go. Woo. And bring it back up and out. Any of you who are watching, you can do these stretches along with me if you like. You don't have to have exercised hard in order to do some useful stretches afterwards. These are really healthy things to do at any time. If you do them before bed, they can help get your body nice and relaxed. Whew. And now I'm going to switch the legs around and do the other side. Yes, corner of the internet. I have done animations in the past. Animations generally for a Let's Play channel called Game Grumps. I did that a lot in the past. Just bear with me 1 second. And in more recent years, I've been getting into doing animated music videos. I have done one. I've done 2 in fact for Dan Avidan, and you can find my animations if you search on YouTube for In Your Eyes by Ninja Sex Party, and also Scarborough Fair by Super Guitar Brothers and Dan Avidan. Woo. And I'm animating again right now, and it's good. And it's a shorter project as well, which I always appreciate. Oh, yes, and I did that Undertale animation, you're right. Oh, that was so long ago. That was like, how many years ago was that? I made that 4 years ago. Did I really make that 4 years ago? Yes, that was in 2016. That's bonkers. That's absolutely crazy. Oh, goodness me. Oh gosh. How time does fly. And that was like a beloved animation that I did at the time. I thought it was wonderful, and now I look at it and I think it's really ugly. I guess that's a good sign because it shows that I must have improved somehow. There we go. Yes. Stretching out all the ligaments is incredibly important after you've been exercising, especially after you've been exercising for an hour while talking about racial politics, or attempting to at the very least. Gosh. And the other side. And the other side. And stretch down. Here we go. Ooh. It's so hard not to kind of bounce along with music this good, even when you're trying to chill out and relax. Dear me. I want to thank everyone who has donated to this campaign from the very start. It means everything to me that you have donated. It's really awesome. If you can donate, please do. Even a small donation is very much welcome. It's all good. Here we go. Stretch. Okay, and now we are going to stretch the spine like this. Over here, and we're going to turn away from the knee. This stretches out the spine, which is really good if you've been working the upper body. We have been working the arms. It's really important to stretch out. This feels really good to do just generally. Like I said before, you don't have to have had a long exercise session before doing stretches like this. It all feels really good at any time. I do recommend it. Oh, goodness. Let me know your favourite exercises in the comments. Oh god. What happens after that? What happens after this? After this, we're going to roll onto our backs and hold one of our legs. Can you still see me? Cooey. Okay. Shuffle away a bit. And then we roll this way. And turn away. And we're stretching out the spine again. Yeah, let me know what exercises you like doing. While we're all in quarantine, so to speak, I don't know how effective everyone's lockdowns are being. The ones in England aren't especially great. But while we're supposed to be quarantining, forms of exercise are pretty important to keep in our lives so that we don't, like, completely seize up. Even if it is just stretching each day, it's better than nothing. Now we're rolling away again. And stretching away from the spine. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. And then onto our backs again. And now we're going to bring both of our knees together. And we're going to bring our head up into a ball. Shoulders down. Oh. And down again. And now we're going to go up into a ball. There we go. And down again. Oh, now we're going to stretch up again. We're going to lean forward. This is a stretch. But this stretch I'm really bad at, leaning right forward. There are some people who can fold themselves right in half and like put their head between their knees, and I just can't do it. I've never been able to do it. No matter how hard I try, I can't stretch that far. Oh. Okay. And now I'm gonna stand up, which means bringing the screen back up with me. Whoop. Here we go. Come with me, guys. There we go. Whoop. Just handling my entire computer. And bringing this up as well. Here we go. So now I'm going to do some stretches where I bend over like this. All the way onto the ground. And then stretch up again. Whoop. And now I'm going to kind of bend in half and then do some little stretches with my legs. Like this. Up. 2. And 3. And then we're going to rise up again. And now we're going to take our arms and stretch this way. Woo! That's good. And the other way. Maybe I can read some comments while I'm doing this. No, I can't. The comments are on their side. I can't decipher the strange runes that comments become when I put my head on my side. Oh dear. It's all good though. It's all good though. I'll catch up with you in just a sec. You're all very patient, by the way. Just waiting for me while I lunge and stretch around. Oh. Now we keep our feet rooted and apart. Turn around and then we turn around the other way. And now we're going to do some balances. I like hand washing laundry at the brisk pace. Hand washing laundry at a brisk pace for exercise. Chelsea Kong, that's a very good idea. Whoop. Come on, there we go. Whoop. Oh. There we go. I didn't fall over once. Incredible. Bring that leg back. Oh dear. I've been shirking exercise, unfortunately. Although there is one where you have a resistance band and put your arms at chest level and use your shoulders and upper arms and chest. That sounds stressful. Oh gosh. That sounds like the kind of thing It sounds like you're using some sort of elastic band. Maybe I'm thinking of it incorrectly, but I'm sure if I used some tool like that, I would end up like slapping myself in the face or something. And now we're coming to the end of our chill out. We're just gonna stretch and roll the shoulders around. And now I'm gonna breathe in and out. Whew! All done. Right. Well now, I am all done with my exercise. Quite exhausting, I think you'll agree. I'm just gonna grab the bike so I have something to sit on and then I can talk to you guys. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to grab my mouse. And I'm going to grab the keyboard in case I want to change the music. There we go. Let me know if I'm too loud now because I'm closer to the mic and I might need to change the settings on it. So you let me know. Whoop. Up we get. There we go. It's an exercise of ring fit. Oh, the ring fit. Oh, yes. I've heard about that. Okay. Just going to check my messages, make sure that I don't have any more emails coming through. Doesn't look like it. Oh, well. So I'm just going to see how much money we've made this evening and how it will add up to the total that we had before. So we've got £5 from a few minutes ago. And 15, so that's £20. That's so cool. Thank you so much, guys. And that goes towards that. So the total we have right now is £355, which is excellent. That's a decent sum. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated this evening. That's excellent. And you still can donate. I will let this stream go all the way, not this stream, the fundraiser go all the way to midnight. So if you want to donate this evening, you still can. And I'd really appreciate that. So yeah, just going to turn the music down. It's quite hectic, this stuff. What can we put on? What music can I put on? In fact, maybe I could do something cool with the music where you get to listen to it in a much more pleasant manner. Let's see if I can. Nope, not that. Ooh, force quit. Here we go. Okay, now. If I'm correct, you should be able to hear the music slightly more nicely. Now, I can't hear anything, but you let me know how the music sounds, and I will change it if it sounds rough, but if it sounds good, we'll leave it as it is, because I want you to have a decent experience of listening to the music, because doing the sort of thing with a Mac is very tricky, and it doesn't help you. It doesn't want to play the music for me and you in a nice fashion at the same time. It's very irritating, but I must do what I can. So, it is nice to be with you guys this evening. Hit me up, ask me questions if you can. I'm just going to scroll back in the chat and see what you've all been saying. Lots of chat. Thoughts-Time recommends a good number of black online creators on his video. Eyeballs on black content creators. That's awesome. Thank you, Luton. You might not still be watching, but I appreciate it very much. I will check that out. Includes numerous political people. Awesome. Lots of conversation. Oh my goodness. Ooh. I love doing that. I love doing that. Bike ride, it's so good. It's such good fun. Okay. I am going to bring this stream to an end because it seems like you guys are being very quiet. But I want to thank everyone who's been hanging out with me this evening. It's been really awesome. I hope you have a good evening. Thank you to everyone who's donated. That's been so excellent. Anyone who's shared this stream, thank you so much. Yeah, I will be doing more live streams in the future. Oh, I can't think of anything to ask if I was so much your favourite food. Thank you, corner of the internet. My favourite food. Moving it to terms is awesome. Yes, it is Chelsea going. My favourite food. Well, that's a broad question, because you could ask dessert or you could ask main course. I think my favourite dessert, that's easy, is probably cheesecake. I love cheesecake. Some sort of like fruit cheesecake is really delicious. Ooh, the birds are going nuts outside. I don't know if you can hear that. They're having a great time. If I'm very lucky, I'll be able to see a hedgehog. I saw a hedgehog in the garden the other day. It was awesome. I also really love risotto. As you can tell, I really love my creamy foods. Risotto with avocado and chicken and lemon and spinach is really good. Although I don't eat chicken anymore, I have corn. Really love that stuff. There's definitely some rustling outside. If only I could see a hedgehog. No matter. Oh gosh. Oh my word. Probably need a shower soon. Okay. Now then. Just a sec. Oh, no, sorry. I thought I got a message right then. Okay. I am going to end the stream here. So as I was saying before, thank you so much for joining me. It's been really awesome of you all to join me for this stream. I will be doing more live streams in the future. So stay tuned for that. Let me know on Twitter and things if you have a suggestion for like something you'd love to see me live stream, some activity you'd like to see me do. Please let me know. Right now, I want to say that we need to keep going with. We need to support the Black Lives Matter movement. I was talking about that much earlier in the stream. I'll bring it up again. Because after all, I found out about this charity through Black Lives Matter, if I'm quite honest. So please do not let this movement grow cold. Please keep talking about it, and keep supporting those who are doing important work for it. Keep signing petitions and keep donating if you can. If you can't, keep sharing things around so that we can keep this movement rolling as long as it needs to go, because it is going to need to go for a long time in order for serious change to happen to systems of racism that need to be dismantled, such as white supremacy. How about that? What's your Twitter? My Twitter is icecopy, just the same as my username. My links to my social media are in my description. So yes, please don't let this movement go cold. If you've got power, if you've got a platform, certainly speak out about it. If you can help people by joining in a protest, please do something. We're in a very important moment in history, and if you do nothing, that is going to stick in your mind for the rest of your life, and it's not going to be a point of pride for you. We all need to come together to help this movement achieve what needs to be achieved, such as the dismantling of white supremacy and the abolition of police and especially police brutality. Because this has obviously gone on too long. Like, any amount of time that it goes on is too long, but it is especially disturbing that we are well into the 21st century and the issues that we have are still so prevalent with regards to the violence that black people experience at the hands of the police. So please pay attention to this movement. I don't know how loud the music's been, so I'm sorry if that's been kind of overpowering what I've been saying. Please support people who need your support, and think about the difference that you can make, because you can make a difference. I promise. Okay, I am going to bounce now. Thank you again so much. I will see you next time. Take care, everybody.